All right, how do I share this? Info, share. All right, who's here? Chat at me, if you like. I'm going to guess it's probably Cease. Somebody found me.Maybe I found me. I have the dog here. My name is Vijay Paneerswamy Jr. I provide tech support to the people of India. And I've got to get rid of this earpiece, because I can hear myself talk. It's a little bit delayed. It's no good. So here's what we're going to do today is we're going to build a computer. And let me tell you a little bit about it here. It is Chrome. Wrong Chrome. Wrong Chrome. Darn it. Maybe I'll minimize that. That's the wrong... Shoot. Okay, hold on here, guys. I got the wrong Chrome up. Darn, 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 darn. How do I change the Chrome window? Let's do this one. There we go. Okay. So, we're going to build this guy. That's what we're going to do. Let me bring this over here. This is a an Intel NUC. They call it a next unit of computing. This is this year's model. This is actually an i3, which means that it's really good for, you know, like general desktop stuff, web browsing. You know, maybe if you wanted to do some audio editing or something, this would be really, really good. This is pretty kick-ass. So we're going to build this guy. There's a few things that we need in order to build it. Number one, we need the Intel NUC. That's this guy. I'll show you it later. I've got it in a box, shrink wrap. So we're gonna do this live. You know, we could really screw this up, but that's what makes it fun. You have to have some memory for it. So I purchased 8 gigs of memory, 8 gigs of RAM. We're gonna put in this thing. That's pretty kick-ass. You need a hard drive for it. So what I purchased is a 250 gig. Well, maybe I purchased a 500 gig SSD. I think I did. I think I did purchase a 500 gig SSD. So this is super fast, and it'll make the computer start up with Windows really, really fast, and that'll be kind of fun. We got to put this in there. And okay, so a few extra things I bought. I didn't know if we're going to need a mounting bracket for it. We might. So okay, so here's a dual drive mounting bracket. It was $7. I figured, you know, I should probably have this on hand just in case. I don't really know what's in that NUC case yet. Haven't built one of these before, so we'll have this on hand if we need it. Then we're gonna need a keyboard. So this is a really cool keyboard. I actually use this keyboard on my big computer here. It's a Logitech wireless keyboard. It's not Bluetooth. It uses what's called a little dongle. You plug it into a USB port, and it works wirelessly. Anyway, this is neat because it's got a built-in trackpad, and it's got the keyboard. Then one other thing we're going to need is we're probably going to need an HDMI cable for this. I'm going to actually run this into a video capture card on this big computer that I videocast from so that we can see it start up and stuff. And in the middle of all this, we're going to try to install Windows on it. I've got that pre-downloaded, but you can find out where to get it. Download Windows. So I want to download Windows 10 installer, and check this out. Microsoft has this where you can actually download installation media, so that's really good. And then you can run it without registering it, I think, for like a week. So that's what we'll do here, just so you guys can see this thing work. So I'm going to switch back to a camera view here. Actually, my work camera. That's not the work camera. That's me. But let's change cameras. Yay! All right, so I've got a little work area here. I'll show you all these. Things. I got to adjust the microphone a little bit. How's that look? Does that sound good? That should sound good. So first thing we got here, we've got our Intel NUC. This is in a shrink wrap box, and then we've got our memory. This is that bracket I told you about. This is a SSD hard drive, and yes, it's 500 gigs. I bought the 500 gig one. I did not screw around. HDMI cables. I've already got one of these picked out, so I'm gonna just put this aside. And then we've got our keyboard right here. So one of the things to notice, a lot of times when you open from Amazon, or when you buy from Amazon, this looks like it was returned stock, because they've got these funny, well, it looks like it's been opened before. So sometimes this happens. I don't know. I'll accept it with a keyboard. Certainly wouldn't accept it with a computer or a hard disk or memory or the like. But this isn't worth sending back. So we're just gonna go with it. First thing we need to do is we need to open up this Intel NUC. Usually I try to work in a clean environment, but you know, I don't have a trash can right here, so I'm just gonna toss stuff, and it'll probably be off camera somewhere. Anyway, this box opens like this. Computer comes right out of the top. That's kind of nice. See how tiny it is? That's a pretty nice setup there. You guys can see the ports on the back. We've got HDMI. We've got USB-C. That's really good. You can power it with this, I think. We've got USB 3 ports, and we got an Ethernet port right there, and then there's a power port right there. On the front, looks like we've got 2 USBs. We've got plastic over the power button. You know, definitely, like all electronics, remove all this garbage plastic that's on these things and tape and stuff, because that just looks tacky. So I'll probably spend a little time either doing that or, you know, maybe not doing it. You know, I don't know. Here we go. I got caught up on one of these already. Beautiful. I think this is the front panel one. All right. You know what? I'm not going to worry about that right now. You can see just how small this thing is. I mean, it really fits in my hand. Super easy. Oh, look, we got plastic on the top to get rid of. So I'll get rid of that. There are instructions in the box. You know, instructions are kind of a good idea. I sort of know what I'm doing here, so I'm going to take a quick look at these. It says step 1 is it looks like I need a screwdriver or something. You know, I really didn't think this out, did I? We're going to put in, oh yeah, here's where to put in an SSD card, if we wanted to put in an SSD card. You know, those SSD cards aren't so bad. That's a good way to go. Here's how to put in a 2.5-inch SSD hard drive. Here's how to put in the memory, if you guys can sort of see where I'm pointing here. Yeah, this looks pretty simple. So let me see if I can get this thing apart. Gonna fold up the instructions. I'm not sure I need those now. Let's see, what else do we got here? Oh, safety information. Really important safety information. That's probably good. Here's all your specs. Those are good. Hey, look at this. They've got, this looks like, yeah, probably a hard drive mounting plate, I'm going to guess. Got all sorts of good stuff in here. Here's your power adapter. Comes with some screws. Screws are always good if you need them for the plate and stuff. It comes with, oh yeah, these little, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a mounting post screw. That's a good thing. Yeah, and then there's like a sticker. Oh, check this out. You know, stickers are the best. You got to put your sticker on your computer, right? Now, I'm all about getting rid of the stickers, but that has a, you know, this is the official Intel Core i3 sticker, if you like that. So, let's take a look at this thing. You can see it's got Phillips screws, and I think there's a couple things I want to do here. One is I want to see if you guys are watching me. You are. Beast is there. No floppy disk drive. Cease. This is a serious computer. Okay, so I've got a Phillips screwdriver. Now, the object of this is not to put it through your hand. If you're going to put a screwdriver through your hand, definitely don't do it when you're filming or streaming, because that's pretty embarrassing. Also, it would make a mess. And I do know somebody who's put a screwdriver through his hand. Not me. But they have to do like a lot of therapy and, you know, reconstructive stuff if you do it. So, you know, really best to avoid it. I guess these screws are a little longer than I thought here. What's going on? Oh yeah, it's one of these funky ones that catches twice, I guess. Or maybe I know what it is. You know what? It doesn't come all the way out. Just out enough. Let me get these. Sometimes it's a good idea to get the boxes out of your way too. We'll probably do that in a minute. Toss them somewhere. Once I get these. You guys see what I'm doing there? Yeah, you can. That's pretty neat. You can probably see my feet too. See, I'm barefoot. You can tell it's late at night. I'm kind of beyond giving a damn. Look at the inside of this. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this box. Just put it over here for now. I have tape on my Santa hat. How'd that happen? Alright, so as you can see here, there is a hard drive bay already in this thing. I'm going to have to, looks like I'm going to have to pull this up to get to where the memory is. Sure does. Does it just come up, or what do you think here? Oh, how about that? It just comes up and it stretches out. We're going to want to put the RAM in. That goes here and here. So let me get this guy. By the way, you want to make sure that you're not going to shock this thing. Static electricity is the enemy of these things. So the way you do that is, this is a metal case. Just kind of ground yourself on the case occasionally. So as I'm opening up the memory, I'm actually going to keep my feet off the carpet. It's on sort of a wood floor, so that's good. I'm not generating any static electricity, and I'll just keep grounding myself there. Then I got to rip this open. You know, a pair of scissors is probably a good thing to have, but these rip open pretty easily. When I grab this thing, I'm going to try to grab it by its edges and not by the pins, although I'm already failing at that. One thing to notice, there's a slot in it. The slot's a little bit offset from center, so there's only one way that it can go in. You'll typically want to put this on the bottom, but I'm going to test fit it on the top here. And when I test fit it, you might be able to see it down here on the camera. I've got the slot backwards. It's there. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm actually going to try to insert this memory on the bottom. And you insert it kind of at an angle, get it all the way in, and then gently tap it down, and these clamps go into place. So now we've got 8 gigs of RAM ready to go in this thing. I'm going to go ahead and... oh, we want to put our SSD in here. So this thing's all set up to put the SSD in. It looks like it's got like a little spring clamp. I don't know if you can see that here, so that we can just slide this thing in. We don't have to, I don't think we have to screw it down or anything. That's the way a lot of this stuff works now. It's really pretty simple. Even when you build a big, you know, a big computer like the one that one day I want to show you guys how I built this one that I used to do the video cast on, because it's a pretty beastie machine. I named it after Cease. Be sure your oil drain pan is positioned so as not to stain the carpet. Yeah, that's good advice too. You know, you never know what runoff you're going to have here, and you know, doing this work inside. So okay, so now I'm dangerously close. See, I should have a pair of scissors. I'm trying to break this little seal here. I'm dangerously close to putting a screwdriver through my hand. So I'm aware of that. You know, the thing with a screwdriver, be aware with it. You know, if you think you could put it through your hand, then chances are you're aware and you're not actually going to put it through your hand. Whereas when you forget about it, that's apparently when that happens, according to the person I know who did it. So this guy, it's really, really tiny. What it's going to do is it's going to slide in right here over these little things, and it's going to slide into. It's going to slide in this little adapter, but you might be able to see this here. I've actually got this backwards. So I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to try it again. Oh, check this out. Check this out. So there's little holes here where I can secure this. They really think about this stuff, like the people who design the cases. They really, really think about these little details so that they're super easy. I don't think I got any screws with the Samsung drive. I may have. Let me see here. I got a CD, I see. This has an installation guide. Does it have any screws? That's the big question. This does not come with any screws. I'm going to toss that on the ground. Go into my little screw bag here. See, this thing, this was the nut came with some screws. Usually the case manufacturers will throw screws in. And usually they're Phillips, and usually they're just exactly the number and size that you need. So in this case, I need 4 of these things. So probably tough to see it here because I've got a. Oh, you can really see them. I just looked over. Anyway, here's up. You want to make sure you get the right size ones, and I've gotten 2 that are just kind of not it. I think I want. Oh, you know what? Maybe I want these little ones. It might be I want these little ones. We'll figure this out here. You find well, there's 3. Here's a third of the big one. Okay, here's another one of these funky sized ones. Aha. So I got all these screws out of the bag. It turns out I got 4 of these little ones. You know, I'm looking at this big one and I'm thinking those are just too big. What we need for these are these little ones. And, oh, nice. Did I just lose that? Almost. So the great thing about these little screws is you can lose them. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to my Phillips. Wow. You guys are looking at me and you're saying, this guy's never operated a screwdriver before. Just besides all the smack he talks on Twitter about being able to operate a screwdriver and tools and stuff. It's not, I don't do it every day. Let's see here. So, alright, you just get this gentle. You don't have to, you don't want to over tighten it. Never a good idea. And I'm just, as you tighten it up a little bit, it'll keep this this drive secure where it is, which is a good thing. Whoa. See, there we go. I just about put the screwdriver through the SSD drive. And let's try to get it through this hole here. You guys are seeing me having a lot of fun with this particular screw hole. Didn't want to grab. Ah, there we go. It grabbed. Anyway, the big key is to be patient. Patience is your friend. All right. See, you can hear me, right? I'm not just doing video, right? Give me a comment that says that you can hear me. I think you can hear me. I can go back over here to OB. Oh yeah, I can see. All right, so we got those 4 screws in. You know, this has this post like it has these posts like this. It does sort of feel like it wants to screw into something here. I'm not quite sure what would do it. Probably not these. Maybe these. Why don't we see if one of these... This is this long one with this little shaft before it gets to the screw. But they only give us 2 of those. That seems kind of weird to me. Let's see if that actually holds anything in. Yeah, I don't think it's long enough to hold anything in. Oh! Okay. Okay, you guys are going to be... This is going to be pretty amazing to you. We do have these screws, and I'll tell you exactly where they are. They're already in the posts in the corner of the case. So how about that? That's what holds all that together. So we have the bottom. We want to put this in. Remember, we put the memory in, and we put this SSD in, right? And then it wants the front. So the front's this part, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to put this like this. And when we screw these down, they're going to hold the whole thing together. This is really a nice little design. That's what I like about these Intel NUCs. You know, when Intel first started doing them, they made these cute little designs. They're small, they're tiny. I think it's a fanless design, so it's not loud, but it dissipates heat from the CPU out the vents really nicely. They're just well made, and you know, they're pretty inexpensive too. And you know, like nobody like Dell is making something like this. You can install Windows on them. You can install Linux on them. You know, if you wanted I guess if you wanted a Chrome box, you could install Chromium on them. Hardware is really up to date, and you know, all the stuff works nicely together. Okay, so we got this thing all put together. I'm going to take these extra screws that I have here, and I'm going to drop them all on the ground. Now I'm going to put them back in this little bag. Who knows what I'm going to need with those things. Let's see here. I have a power adapter for this guy. It's probably going to need to be plugged in somewhere. Even the power adapter, you know, is nice, and I mean, it's cute. What's going on with it? Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with it. It looks like it opens up, maybe. Shoot. Well, it looks like it's designed to make me look stupid. Then what do we got? Oh, I see. We got these things. Aha! See, look at this. So, you know, whatever country you're in or whatever, it's got the right plug for that. That's kind of a nice touch. I don't need that anymore. Oops. I think there's another one in here. Yeah, I think that's like for Australia, right? This little bent thing. I don't know why you guys just don't standardize on US stuff, because we make the best stuff anywhere. We design all the good stuff. You know, it's just too much country pride. Now, how does this work? That's the first. Aha! So check this out. I think what's it do? Does it go here? Wow, I have no idea. I'm probably going to have to look at the instructions for this, huh? Yeah, this definitely looks like one of those things. I'm going to have to look at the instructions and see what they do here. So, Intel NUC. All right, so it's like this part is forward. Oh, I see. Check this out. This thing comes off. All right. So there's like a little catch here. This guy comes off, and then this bad boy, no, it goes like this. This bad boy goes in. All right, so now we're ready with this. Okay. So I'm going to put... You know what? I'm just going to throw this stuff out of the way. You know what? We never figured out what we needed with this plate. That's kind of funny. You know what this is? I know what this is without even looking. This is a Visa mounting plate. So I don't know if you know what Visa mounts are, but what they do is... check this out. See, there's two little holes for it here. I would put this like... I guess I would put it like this. Yeah. This would allow you to mount this to the back of a television on its Visa mounts. How you typically mount it to the wall. So if you have the TV or the display on a stand, it's probably got Visa mounts, and then you should be able to mount this on the back. It's actually pretty light. It's kind of, you know what? It's not as light as it looks. It's actually kind of heavy. I'd say it's, 3 or 4 pounds. It's solid. It's like a brick, but it could certainly mount on the back of a TV. And then you can imagine this thing is, just out of the way and kind of doing its thing, and you don't have to worry about it too much. Not a huge, giant, nerdy computer. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Now I gotta get power for this thing, huh? All right. All right, so here's this part of the power cable. We'll put it here. All right, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to go over. To the power outlet above the dog dish. Just a sec. Okay. There we go. Remember I told you about this? This was like a tray for a hard disk. We don't need it, so I'm going to put it aside. We got more screws. I'm going to put those aside. We have the cap from the power adapter. I'll put that aside. Don't think I need the screwdriver anymore. All right, now we get to this. Let me show you something before we go too far. I plugged this in, and this thing already lit up for me. That's kind of neat. That's a power button on the front, but we're not ready for it yet. So what I am ready for is for this keyboard thing. Yeah, I can't tell if this has been open or not. It sure looks like it has. I think the one I just bought was shrink wrapped. So I think this looks like return stock. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, shoot. And I'm gonna fight with the tape on this. Beautiful. You know what? I think add to your tool chest when you go to do this is just a pair of scissors. I don't know where my pair of scissors is, and I'm gonna end up, putting my hand at risk here. Okay, this thing's open. Pull this out. Here's the keyboard. Watch, I'm gonna need batteries for this. I don't have the batteries. So that'll be beautiful, won't it? No, I don't need batteries. Check this out. They're already in here. It's like these guys thought of everything. I just have to pull the little tab. Okay. So let me put this back in. Now we've got a keyboard. It comes with this little thing called a dongle. That's what those are called. It's a USB dongle. We're going to plug this in the back in one of these USB ports, just like we'd plug in a keyboard, except we're going to plug that in. Okay. Throw this box aside. And I've got this guy here. I got this guy. I need to hook up video. So remember I showed you those HDMI cables. This HDMI cable goes to my my big podcasting, video casting computer here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. HDMI is still kind of the sort of the standard way of connecting, lower end computers to things. One thing you have to watch out for is, if you have a big display, like I have a 34-inch display that that I'm showing all this stuff to you. And it uses this thing called DisplayPort. So, you know, you might find these things with DisplayPort. It's a little bit different cable. It's kind of a different competing standard. But you know what? These cables are all cheap. You can make them all work. All right, it's close to the moment of truth here. I'm gonna power this thing on. So I hit the power button in front, and you know what? It didn't do much. It just stayed orange here. Wonder what happened there. Maybe I'll hold it longer. Okay, let's switch views. Maybe I can video capture view. No signal there, huh? Maybe I have to hold this for a second. Alright, I feel like a complete idiot because this isn't starting up the way I thought it would, so I'm going to have to go look at the instructions again. Just a second. And the instructions say... yeah, you do all this stuff, right? You guys can see this. It has like a little orange glow, right? Okay. I'm not making this up. Now I come back here and... nothing. You see how there's like no pictures on the back? This is weird. Okay, I put that, I do that, I do that. A, B, C. And what have I done wrong? Power button. Oh, now it's starting to... okay, wait a minute here. You know what? It's blinking as I press it in. Let's see, anything coming out there? No. Tell you what, we're going to unplug it, and we'll try this. We'll try this again. I hit the power button. Control-Alt-Delete. B says my dongle isn't very big. No, it's a very tiny dongle. Nobody wants to have a big dongle. If this computer was a car, what kind of car would it be? Beast, what's a car that you've got that doesn't start up? Because that's what kind of car it is. It's basically a car that you need to call AAA on, because this is not starting up very good here. I'm not sure what happened. Kind of frustrating. Well, well, friends, what have we done wrong? I'm getting no signal on the video capture card. Baby girl, what did you do? I got the dog jumping around here too. She's kind of making this. She's trying to get involved. I think she's going to pull down a... oh, she's trying to pull down the mouse. No good. Hey, come here. Come here. What did we do wrong here? This should just work. This should just work, and it doesn't just work. SD card. Getting absolutely nothing here. So I put in, let's see here, I didn't put in the M2 SSD. I did put in some memory. A, B, C. You know what, I might have put memory into the wrong slot. So, okay. So one of the things about these is that you're supposed to put memory in one slot or the other. And maybe I put it in the wrong slot. So I think we're gonna tear this down and change that and see if we can fix it. So I'm gonna put my keyboard aside. I'm going to unplug this. Oh yeah, let's give you guys a better little better view here, the work camera view. So I've unplugged it. I'm going to unplug the HDMI cable. Gonna get my screwdriver, and oh yeah, I want Phillips. Let's try this again here. So sometimes these things just don't go right the first time. I was kind of hoping it would, because then you guys would think I knew what I was doing. Whereas now you just think I bought $500 worth of stuff and you know, hoped it would boot up. Which if you noticed, it didn't. But one of the good things is, like, we're really good at taking this apart right now. So there's that. This memory doesn't tell me to use one of the slots first. You know, you'd think you'd use the bottom slot first, so it would be really easy to put the right stuff in. I think I've got the right memory here. Let me show you a little trick we could do. Is we can actually run it like this. So what am I gonna do here? I'm gonna plug it in. Oh yeah, you can see we get some lights. You know, we get a little green light there. The green light's good. I'm gonna see here. Let's put in this HDMI cable. You know, if there's a green light on the board, that's like a good thing, right? Then I'm gonna switch over to my video capture view. And I'm going to hold this power button down. You know, you'd think things would start to happen, wouldn't you? Maybe. No. Well, you guys have seen how to build a computer that doesn't work. That's you know, that's got to be worth something. And I got to go figure out why this doesn't work. How nice. How fun. Okay, then. Any other last questions? Yo, VJJ, what are you wearing? Exactly. Exactly. Sorry? Sorry, Beast? Sorry, I'm wearing a sorry. So, Vijay Paneer Swami did a bad job with this this time. And I think that's what we're gonna call it quits here, and I will make I'll make a follow-up video and post it to the Real Thing on how I actually fixed this. So for now, you guys have yourselves a really good night, and I'll do a follow-up to this later. Take care.